LA, we're back, baby. Or shall I say Hollywood, Mandii?
That's right, guys. We have a live show happening this Saturday, April 16th at the Hollywood Improv. Doors will open at 3:30. Show will start promptly at 4, and we ain't on CP time, honey.
Let me tell y'all a few things about this motherfucking show. If you came and saw us in December, it's not the same show. The same hoes, not the same show. Two. If you missed that show because we sold out last time, make sure to grab tickets for this one because it is a very intimate setting. And by intimate, no, I don't mean we're going to fuck. I just mean we're close together. There are no VIP tickets because of the seating being so good. However, there are going to be VIP tote bags included with every ticket. And this show is going to be televised. So make sure that you are looking your best, that you're on your A game because you may end up on the big screen.
That's right. Make sure you click the link in the description of this episode to get your tickets before they are all sold out. Looking forward to seeing all of you LA hoes in the building on Saturday. See you there. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Whoreible Decisions. We back at it again. It's your girl Mandii B, aka Full Court Pumps, aka Pet the Stallion, aka I might snatch your nigga up and his daddy. Ew.
Not his father.
Girl, listen, the way I'm like back with like, ooh, okay, he could be like 24 and then his daddy like 45.
It works.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might just need both. And we are joined today.
Hi, I'm Weezy. I've been to France. I know Mandii said Whoreible
We're not
Decisions.
doing France, bro. 3 months,
We
4
are.
months later.
I know you guys are new here, but everybody needs to know on the show, I've been to France, you know, parlez français. That's as far as I go. Just to let you know. Everybody has been reminded. Do you know a bitch came up to me in the street talking about like Taxpayer, da-da-da-da, and she was saying all this shit. I was like, oh, what's up? She's like, nah, listen to Whoreible. I know you be talking about France. I speak French. I was like, okay, girl.
I don't.
I mean, if she said Taxpayer, she speak Creole, which is not
It was giving half.
Really?
Whoever you are, it was giving you speak half.
Creole. I want to give a shout out to our guest today.
Hey.
We have Shanti and Antoinette from the Around the Way Curls podcast.
Yes, ma'am.
And it was super important to have them on because, bitch, when that flyer dropped for the Roots Picnic, which, guys, yes, we will be at, come to Philly in June. We going to be there on the podcast stage.
No, 4th and 5th.
4th. But we just going to be there on the 4th on stage.
Don't say it.
The flyer is already out. We're going to be there on the 4th. What's the problem?
We weren't supposed to tell.
Oh. Tricky.
Bitch, the flyer is out.
You ain't got to be mad at me, Mandii. They didn't announce day to day.
Can we get that flyer? Because we don't even know what day we
No,
go.
we had to ask our agent, hey, there's a flyer with 2 days.
They don't basically announce the days in case things change.
Yeah.
And or because I think they try to sell like
I see.
2
Just
tickets.
yeah.
So.
Damn,
well,
up their marketing
Y'all know y'all
strategy.
day? Or is it a surprise?
No, they don't know. They just don't know.
We don't know nothing, child. Shout out to Philly.
We gonna be there though. We gonna be there though.
We're going to be out there though. We're going to be there.
I
I must say, you guys have a really good pun name and I'm like kind of jealous.
Around the way.
Thank you. She was against the name.
Wait, no way.
That was not her favorite name.
It was Curl Interrupted, Around the Way Curls.
Or actually, now you're giving too much if those aren't taken yet.
I
You
know.
are sharing IP.
No,
we
you
are.
got an inception date right here.
Nah, bro, I need to
Make that
trade
a
that thing.
It's kind of fire, though.
Bitch, I be
You might
thinking
wanna
about shit like
straight
that.
up.
We had a whole thing.
She about
but
to.
I'm like, inception date from here.
Our listeners chose the name for us. We had
A Curl's best
we had
friend.
a
It was
blog,
so corny.
and so we had them choose for us, and they all voted, and that's what they chose.
That is
Curl's best friend
amazing.
is definitely not
corny.
my favorite, but Curl's Interrupted crazy. But to me, that's gotta be like when I think of Girl Interrupted, I think of a lot of drugs and Angelina. And
right.
That's not
not us.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, girl, it's
They
not.
knew.
Do you remember that movie?
Our base knows us, so I think it was
Yeah.
perfect. It worked out.
It worked.
But I
So
wasn't
what's
against
Around the Way
it.
Curls about?
Well, we are a multimedia platform. We basically bridge the gap between Around the Way and academia. So we talk about a plethora of conversations, but love and light, money and dicks, because duality is a thing. We are not a monolith. And so we cover the gambit, but in a way where it's like you can actually digest what we're saying. And I think a lot of times...
But some people can't with us.
Well,
We're disgusting.
No, but that's the thing is like, I think for us, it's like there's a place for everyone. We can meet you where you're at. If you want to get on academia, we can get there and ask you what that word meant. But then we can also be around the way, play spades, and like chill and like have a real conversation.
Around the way you can be.
Which by the way,
don't do this.
Which by the way, shout out to everyone who does play spades. Because this bitch right here can play. And we sat with a group of men and just started
Doing
beating
their
on
asses
doing
up.
their asses. It was space, okay?
I saw one of the most insane pictures I've ever seen on Twitter in my life.
I'm scared.
And I thought, who am I going to share this with on the podcast? Because after you guys, we have a couples therapist coming in. And I'm like, are they ready for this? But since you said it.
Oh, God.
So I just want to preface how I found this photo. There's a Dom, shout out to Mistress Marley. I believe she opened her own Black Dungeon, which is great, in Brooklyn. Anyway, she put on a strap on today and posted it and said, who's ready? And so this dude sent this photo with not only his butthole, but something in it.
Why does that
All
equate
right.
to around the way?
All right. I don't know how.
I don't know how that-
show that.
but you know
I
what?
don't know where that came from.
We're not going to shame anyone.
What do you mean how I decided to show that? This is a horrible decision show, bro. Have you ever seen some shit like this in your life?
No, me.
No, because they don't do that where we from.
Bruh. Well, the man
That's
is
the most
from
around the way
Brooklyn.
we are.
I got so deep in this hole, no pun intended. I said, he has an OnlyFans. I tried to bring him on the podcast already. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. I was in the hole, bro. And I was like, is this too nasty for these girls to see?
No, we can meet you
it's
where
not
you're
too
at.
nasty.
Okay.
It might not be
She
something
must
that
have
I
saw the
go
outline
to.
and was like,
She's like, we got to throw something in
it's
there.
not giving.
It's not giving enough.
It's not giving
That's what it
horrible.
is. I mean, well, to start off with
Hotels.
the pod, which is Whoreible Decisions, these two lovely ladies, if you guys enjoyed Heaux Tales by Jasmine Sullivan, these two ladies actually were in two of the interludes, the skits. So I wanted to really get into y'all's Heaux Tales, because one of the things about the album that I love so much too is it gave into all the different parts of being a hoe. And I think if you've listened to like this podcast from 2017 to now, I think there's ebbs and flows of being a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna start with your shit, bro.
How did you guys get involved with that before we hear it?
That's our best friend. That's one of
We
our
went to
best
high
friends.
school
We went to
together.
high school together.
And she knew you guys were hoes? What's up?
Apparently, she turned to the closest hoe she knows.
Now I think about it, I'm like, do you think that I don't.
If someone
It's
asked
tricky.
you,
We're
did
going to get to that. We're going to get to that because I don't think her project is around like, I think she's trying to say like, you guys are classifying folks as hoes and like really we're just women and having a human experience.
Period.
And so like you can say what it is, but I'm going to, I'll let you say that. But actually let's actually talk about what's happening.
Well, and that's kind of what we've said around the word whore as well. It's like, well, we just gonna own it. And then now you can't use it against me. Like you can't use it to put me down because bitch, I'm a hoe, whatever. I'm a whore, I'm a slut. Like
if that makes you feel good.
You know what I mean? And I think to be fair, that's what we as a Black community did with the N-word. They still can't use it with an ER, but now we use it like just, what up, my nigga? Like, and now like, again, white people still can't say it. But I think we just use it now in a different sense.
Like reclaiming yourself.
Yeah, I do want to play, could you play Antoinette's tale so we can get into it? I mean, we only be loaning it out for like the 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
That was great.
12 minutes.
It's the 12 minutes they in it is there. You know what I mean? And like, there's forever.
Well, it's interesting because I do think that there are a lot of people that are for the taking, a lot of women, people who identify as women who feel like they're for the taking and it is an offering, like, oh, it is yours. Mm-hmm. You get to control how I feel. You get to control my pleasure. And I am completely against that. I think that I had to do a lot of work to reclaim my sexual energy because it was violated at a young age. And I'm just beginning to get the language for it. Like I've been reading The Power of the Erotic by Audre Lorde and all these things. And I'm like, you know what? There is a lot of power in my pleasure and I deserve pleasure. It is a right. It is revolutionary for women to be pleased, right, especially Black women. And I started to reflect on the sexual experiences that I had. And I was absolutely for the taking. My body was in service to their pleasure. That was what I was there for. I didn't even consider myself. And when I started to do that, I recognized how uncomfortable it made some men in my life.
When you centered your pleasure.
How did
I
you
wasn't
show up
even
that way?
centering. Well, I would say like, I would like to introduce this vibrator into and that was like, I was shamed for it. Of like, that's your like, that's why you're not having orgasms because that's actually an issue. And I was
hey,
shocked
baby, that
by
thing be making me orgasm. What you mean?
And so then I started to be like, well, I'm not going to have sex until I can really figure out what I like.
How long did you take a break?
Bitch, she's still on that break.
I'm doing the best I can. Yeah, I'm still on a break. But
voluntary.
I'll pray for me. But you know what it is? I really want to have
your pussy.
listen, but it's not just that. I want to have energetic sex with someone.
Ooh,
I want to I want to have sex that is not just it's not just my genitals. It is an actual connection. We are actually vibrating on a certain level where like we are so in tune with one another that you might not even need touch in order for us to orgasm.
Let's circle the bed with crystals and light.
No, it's not that. It's not that.
When you have sex with someone like that, here's two interesting things about that.
I'll be happy to say it's yours.
Huh?
I'll be happy to say it's yours. At that point, I'll be like,
so for one, I feel like a friend of mine who's celibate, but purposefully, right? Not just kind of like really, really is holding out. She wants to have sex like this with someone. So she's waiting to build this connection with this person, expecting that it'll get there. There's another part of this that I really believe to be true. I don't think that just because you have an amazing emotional connection with someone, you can jump into that crazy energetic sex. I think that has to come with building time.
No, agreed.
So maybe you got to practice your pussy, girl. Get that.
Well,
shit.
you know what it is,
It's
too.
like a workout. You might be able to lift weights energetically.
Well, I think energetically too, I've been so there's certain things that I have relied on to orgasm that I'm trying to see, like, can you energetically get there on your own? Before you try to offer it to
just use the rose,
Mandii, no.
use the womanizer,
Mandii, I'm trying to tell you, I'm getting close.
I like my
like I am.
She says she's not using porn now.
I'm not using porn.
That's the strongest orgasm.
She's told Weezy has sat on this.
No
been like,
porn.
And I never even watched porn. I listened to it. I would listen to it.
I have right here.
You need to use a mirror, Antoinette.
Hand right here.
I've been
why do
doing
you
mirror
resist
work.
not?
No porn?
Why do you resist that?
Only hands and a mirror.
I'm trying to get to only hands, right? Only fans, only hands. I'm trying to get there, but I haven't gotten
motion.
there yet.
You just have to start circling.
It's a circular motion, right?
Instead of this way, you have to rub your vulva. You have to spend more time. But when you get rid of that vibrator, now it's like almost like my hand is stronger.
But even standing in the mirror and touching myself, even when I wash myself, like actually feeling what my body feels like.
All right, this is getting a little hot and steamy.
But I'm just saying, like,
and the way I just so gently caressed my breast with the dove soap around me.
But I offer, that's an offering. Like, if you want to get there with someone, you got to get there with yourself first.
I know that's right.
So.
Mandii, why do you resist not using porn? Why do you think that?
You know, I've just come to learn in terms of by myself, but also with my partners, which I've realized that's probably why I'm so shallow. I get aroused and come visually, which is probably why I don't fuck ugly niggas.
You can do mirror work with yourself.
Yeah, but then I gotta lean it right. It makes me have to lay.
You could stand. I've been in your house. You could stand in front of your bathroom.
I don't play with myself standing up. Bitch, my arms, I got T-Rex arms, bitch. I gotta lay down so a bitch can reach the shit. I can't reach my goddamn twat standing up. You know what I mean? I used to be mad when I was in middle school.
Saying my twat is so crazy.
I hate it so much.
What about that,
My whole body went, ugh.
No, legit. No, for real. Like when I was in middle school, I used to be, you know how like your arms had to go past your skirt? I'm like, bitch, I got T-Rex arms. Everything gonna look short. Like, nothing went past, baby. I could have wore drawers and they would have took me out. Anyway, I want to play your tale next, if you don't mind. And then, Weezy, think of a hotel if you have one, preferably of something that happened recently. But, Eden, go ahead and play Shanti's tale, please.
Still calling me.
And then we broke up because it really wasn't even a relationship. It was a situationship. That's what that was given. I just need to know.
No,
because it's given like you really like him, and he's just like, yeah, girl, when you coming over? Oh, you can't come over tonight? All right, babe, I'll check you another time.
No. So I had my daughter when I was young.
Okay.
So I was like, 23, 24. I had just gotten out of a relationship, so I was maybe like 25, 26.
Girl, it's given 25 now.
Don't she look good?
How old is the daughter? Let me do the academia. What'd you call
Academia. So I felt a lot of responsibility. I was in mom mode all the time. I didn't feel like I had the space to have fun and be free because that whole life was just cut off
Did this
Facts.
person join in your life as a mother, or was he just a boyfriend?
He was just a boyfriend. And so that's where it was this conflict of like, I had this area of my life where I was really responsible and like I had to think outside of just myself. And then with him, it's just fun and games and wild at some places.
Yeah,
and it was exciting. I needed it. It was a relationship that I don't regret by any means, but it was exhausting. And I couldn't be my full ass self, my whole self. I couldn't share certain things about my life emotionally that I was going through because he just couldn't relate and he didn't have any interest. There was no interest there. He would just go.
He wanted the fun.
As soon as you wanted to maybe vent or share.
Yeah, it
anything,
was just a burden for him. And I can get it because he didn't sign up for that. And I get it. He didn't sign up for it. That's not what he wanted. He was being honest. But it just weared on my self-esteem after a while.
Who ended up ending the relationship? You or him?
I did. It was mutual.
Okay.
It was mutual. I think we both knew like we can't keep doing
It's giving me.
How long were you breaking up for?
Ooh, that's a very good question.
Yeah. Okay, now I feel like
the beginning of the relationship. I knew from the jump, like this is
The beginning of the relationship.
I knew from the jump it wasn't going to.
I mean, me and my ex were just breaking up for 6 to 8 months
It'd
straight.
be like that.
And it was just like till like finally it was like, no, I'm ready. I'm ready for this to end.
It was for when he was like, all right, I see this. Like we can't keep doing this.
Yep.
He can't keep doing this.
Okay.
So
I can dig
his loss.
I can dig it. Well, I want to get into our vanilla shit because this is where we make shit a little nasty or whatever.
We don't.
Actually,
this is literally the most tame part of the show.
I mean,
unless it's gross.
Actually, this is gross. Though.
It's not the semen cupcake.
Oh, my bad. So, this one is
Did y'all see this already?
No, she helped me with the outline.
Oh.
So this one comes from the New York Post. An ex-teacher who fed students semen-laced cupcakes has been sentenced to 41 years.
I actually saw this and didn't even think we should read it.
Cynthia Perkins, 36, I'm gonna call her out because she's nasty as fuck. Was sentenced after pleading guilty to second-degree rape, production of child pornography, and conspiracy of mingling harmful substances. It's crazy because when I read this, I was like, I need to know what type of charges you get for stuff like this. Because I don't know if y'all see it too. There's a video going around now. A man, I assume homeless, clearly wasn't well. There's a video, and I'm
putting
mad that
shit in a woman's face?
Yes. Walked up to a woman sitting waiting for the train in New York and walked up and smeared her face with his feces.
It's not safe out
on
here.
the train
on the train platform. This woman lives in Louisiana, but this is how many charges she has. She has 72 charges of various sex crimes for this, 68 of which were dropped in her plea agreement. But pretty much she was facing 150 criminal charges, many of which are also sex crimes, according to the indictment. I want to know if it says how many children she fed semen to.
It was a whole class.
It was a whole class.
It was an entire class.
Oh, okay.
It's weird because we talk a lot about, of course, we see a lot of teachers having a lot of affairs with students now.
Mm-hmm.
That's popular, which we don't bring many of those conversations to Whoreible Decisions because it's just like, that's pedophilia. This was just interesting to me because I'm just like, what makes you think to feed children fucking semen-filled cupcakes?
The devil.
And I also want to know how they found out.
No, in reading the article in depth, they were involved with pedophilia. She was the wingman to her partner, her husband at that time, who was a cop or some kind of like official in that way, and they were molesting kids. They had a whole
investigators
thing.
later found nude photos.
No, they had a whole thing
with minors.
She probably should have gotten more time. Both,
You know
of them,
what's
but
so
she was
crazy?
doing
41 years now that I think about. Okay, that's
nude photos.
That was
You found nude photos. How the fuck? Like, my nigga, I do some dumb shit. Like, maybe I'll smoke weed, or maybe I've popped Molly and maybe took a little Snapchat of it and sent it to a friend. But if I know I'm committing a crime, I'm going to take a picture.
Bro, R. Kelly made a whole video pissing on a minor.
They're sick, and they keep these little
video.
It's really
we just glazed over that.
Who fucks with children?
So something I've been I'm working on on producing an investigative crime podcast, and one of the things that they keep pulling up that's a trend with like people that commit murders that are not accidents. I'm not talking about like crime of passion where like you got mad, you had to kill that nigga, right? It's people that like enjoy the kill. They need the trophy.
Yeah.
And so they try to take locks of hair.
sick.
They try to take something. And that's something about like getting off with like the pedophilia thing. And bro, it's crazy.
What do you
That was
say
like
to
the
these
Times Square
children?
killer. I mean,
That's my thing. Like,
to me,
fuck her. She can rot in jail. But like, what do you say
because
to these poor kids
to be
affected
fair
by this?
too, like, and for the word rape to be used, it's been interesting because I went down a whole even, I love rabbit holes, but just words and usages, and that came after me looking up prison food. Oh my God, those YouTube videos of making prison meals.
That hibachi shit was crazy.
Bro, that
and why
shit-
did he have a Rolex?
Bro, that shit is crazy. But then I ended up down just
Invented.
the whole of like, why these
But you
niggas
know
in
what's
jail.
crazy?
Then, like,
About those prison food shit. So the nigga whose call I'm ignoring, he was telling me about his little prison tales because I sent him the hibachi shit because he ain't got Instagram. So I'd be like, damn, I'm tired of offloading these videos. But I sent him the
my
hibachi
nigga
video.
ain't have an Instagram either.
Okay.
Niggas don't
I thought
have
he didn't have
Instagram.
Instagram because he was still locked up. Is he locked up?
Oh, no.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
like, wait.
Great, very fair question.
Okay, fair.
But no, I saw the hibachi video. So for anyone who hasn't seen it, they just basically light a fire and they're cooking food on the grate of like the stairwell in prison, the metal grate. So I sent him this shit. I was like, you was doing this shit? He was like, nah, but that's crazy because like when I saw the dude with the Rolex, he was like, that was something that was like really important in jail. There would be confiscated goods that, or like maybe an inmate who died or like shit that they would basically like sell or the guards would like give it up or people would want their shit back. And he was like, yeah, like it's really common to see like people in the federal prison because they can get out for a minute with like jewelry. Like, dog,
They
who
deserve.
are you flexing for?
Still, they
Y'all don't
deserve
wanna
to
fuck
adorn
each other.
themselves.
Huh?
I love it.
So
You better
everybody
be locked
deserves
up
pleasure.
with a Rolex or a chain on some earring. They
For what?
deserve to adorn themselves. It's not about just doing it to be in the public. It's for yourself.
Also, I'm getting
No, I'm not
innovation.
giving crystals around
The hibachi's giving innovation. It just shows
That
the
did
brilliance.
bother
In all
me.
honesty, like
yeah. No, but that's what I'm saying. If you go down the YouTube rabbit hole of prison meals, my nigga.
did you watch the one on Netflix where they talking through the toilet?
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that.
amazing.
No, hold on. They have this thing called an oven, but it ain't an oven. Bitch, it's a towel. But after they put the hot water in the ramen, they put it in a plastic bag. When they wrap it with a towel, they gotta close the towel, and it creates like a convection oven.
Wow.
They call it the oven though, bitch. I guess it is steam, but they like literally make.
But why
it's
don't they
kind of
just
brilliant.
It's like, I mean, but if you
It's
went
them
back-
resourceful.
quesadillas
It's
look like they
resourceful
good
and
as
it's
fuck.
brilliant.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I told y'all, like my uncle when I was growing up, he made us a jail burrito, and
What
it
was
was
in
like,
it?
well, the burrito
Doritos?
wasn't like the tortilla part. That shit.
What?
The tortilla part,
Tortilla.
girl.
Quesadilla.
The tortilla, quesadilla. You feel me? But the tortilla part, what it was actually was it was crushed up Doritos and
Yes.
Fritos, and they put a little bit of water on it and let it sit because then it becomes like the mold. And then he filled it with peanut with jelly.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about, right? He put meat in
looked
it.
like he ate it and loved it.
You know the burrito, the jail burrito, right?
Of course you
Hold
do.
on.
You know what a tortilla.
It looks delicious. Okay? That's all I have to say.
It is delicious.
Doritos are the
He ate it.
parsley in fucking jail food. They put Doritos in every
Yo,
goddamn.
That was I agree. little razzle dazzle.
Everything is
No,
Doritos.
no, the Doritos is, and apparently he said too, they cost the most in commissary. Them and the pack of oodles and noodles.
It's giving bubble guts. It's giving
It
hot
is.
butt. It's giving
Listen,
stomach
It's
ache.
giving hot butt. She said, speaking of hot butt,
Oh no! As soon as you said it, I was like, oh no!
Well,
let me tell you how
If you
this nigga
kick
was
me
talking
wrong,
about
I'm sorry, darling.
So basically, the hibachi shit, he's like, it's only good when you got like the meat. He's like, and then got steak, so you got to find niggas that are in the kitchen and they bring you the ground beef, right? He's like, but a lot of, which is, by the way, very sad. A lot of, I think he was in the feds in like in a California jail. So he said like a lot of the meat is expired, obviously, or it's not good. So he's like, dog, he's like, when you're sick from like eating and you're in a cell, not like GP, general population, where you can leave your cell. He's like, nigga, when you got a shit and somebody else got a shit and y'all niggas got to take turns shitting. Can you imagine?
It's giving
Bitch,
vulnerability.
I need to be right next to the toilet.
Y'all
I need to have
soulmates
mouth
now.
here, and I need to be back to back. So you telling me now I got to share it with some other bitch?
I ain't even gonna hold you. To me, it's given living in New York with two roommates.
Thank you. That's why I was like,
The way
I can
that-
absolutely
okay,
imagine.
so you got two roommates, right? Bitch, everybody got a 9 to 5. Everybody got a morning shift.
Hold on, did you have a one bedroom? Oh, no, one bathroom.
I lived in a 3-bed, 1-bath.
Oh.
And hold on. It is giving. We all got to go to work in the morning. We all got to take our morning shit. So to me, it's just as bad. If your roommate take a shit, not only do you have to take a sit in the aroma of their shit, do you know what makes it even worse? Y'all ready? The steam of a hot shower.
Oh,
I cannot believe you guys are comparing jail to living in an apartment in New York City.
I was living uptown and I had a 3-1. It was crazy.
It was giving
oh my
jail.
God, I completely understand your struggle.
It was so fucking crazy. No, and so I love Doritos too. I love them.
I hate us so much right now.
Nah, but shout out to my niggas in jail. Listen.
Well, I want to go through whole facts and real quick. I'm gonna read the whole facts, and then before we get to the horrible decision, Weezy, if we both can share a Heaux Tale, I think it makes sense for this episode. The whole fact that I have for this week's episode was really interesting. I found that taxpayer money has actually been funding abstinence-only-until-marriage education since the Ronald Reagan era. In 1981, Congress passed the Adolescent Family Life Act without hearings or floor votes. It was tacked on to another health bill, and the language outlined its mission to promote chastity and self-discipline. Alpha received the most funding of any sexual health program, $200 million in all, before the Obama administration ended it in 2010. And the fact that we've sat on this podcast, and I've sat on multiple other podcasts, and talk about the lack of sexual education in schools, but to know that $200 million went towards abstinence-only-until-marriage education, it's crazy because I don't know where that money went, because
crazy at all.
I don't even think I was taught just to be abstinent until marriage. That to me was something that came from the church, not from.
Well, everything in this country is founded in God we trust.
You separate.
No, you don't.
State and church.
What year is it, Mandii? What year is it? Tell me.
2022.
And 2022 what?
I damn sure
Before
thinking
Christ or
2021 in my head.
after Christ? The Christians
AC.
won. The whole world. Like Louis C.K. talks about this. The whole world subscribes to this of like before Christ, after Christ. Like it's very clear how we define things. And the church is like...
That's just a word, because technically, if you go by what they say, nothing was before Christ, because Christ created all them dinosaurs and shit too.
Deep, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Did he? No,
I hear
technically,
you.
because before Christ is talking about the dinosaurs, but didn't he create everything?
Christ didn't create everything.
God
child.
did.
Christ is the child of God.
No, Christ.
Shout out
Well,
to
it
you.
looks like you need a Bible story
Shout out to you. But no, I'm serious. I'm serious. Abstinence and those kinds of things. You
I
have
thought
to.
Christ, God, and Jesus technically all the same person.
They are the same person, but Christ wasn't technically.
Christ was a real
get
person.
confused when people are like,
some bullshit.
when they pray to Jesus, their Lord and Savior. Because I thought the Lord was God. So how is Jesus the Lord?
Because Jesus is a part of the Lord.
The Trinity.
From his sperm,
And we ain't talking
that's baby,
Matrix,
right? That's his
nigga.
son.
Right.
Did you just say from his sperm?
Wow. Let's reel this back. But wait, no.
Immaculate.
To think about it, nah.
It's not though, because virgin, the word, I don't want to upset people.
Nah,
the word
Christ,
virgin.
Christ put, while Mary was asleep, put his little sperm in.
No,
That's not-
Christ did not sleep.
baby.
Christ, Mary, no. Mary was with Joseph, and Joseph and Mary were married. And virgin back then did not mean what it means today. It meant young woman.
Oh, that's it?
That's what it meant.
So basically,
and so now,
Joe
when
got
people-
him
She
some
wasn't a
pussy.
virgin.
if you tell
The
that to
young
people,
drum
they'll
with a
freak
PYT.
out. But historians really have researched language and said that word did not
that's-
mean
You
that.
do need to
That's
go
not
on
what they're
Bible stories
saying
with
these
Brianna.
days.
Because
But
They
I'm
have a
saying
version.
they interpret it as man has interpreted the Bible and interpreted those writings. It was the Immaculate Conception.
So wait, how
she
young
never
of a
had
virgin?
sex.
Could I? Because I
Mary was
like 43.
Could I be a
Yeah,
virgin?
Could I
Mary
be a
was
virgin?
young.
Is 31 virgin age? I think I'm a virgin.
These are the technicalities we need to know.
Someone asked for my ID
Questions
like a week
that
ago.
need
I feel
answers.
like
He
it's
might have
giving
been-
Virgin Mary. To be honest with you.
I'm not trying to disrespect, but I'm just really trying. I'm not trying to disrespect. Because listen, that ass, like the Bible is a hell of a drug, and that sounds disrespectful, but I really mean that like people believe it, and I get it. You have to have faith in something, but I'm I am saying to critically think and consider something else. Consider how patriarchy is infused in the Bible and how that trickles down into the school system.
You know what people are going to say in the YouTube comments?
And there's nothing wrong with this.
They're going to be like, these ladies were so mature. Mandii and Weezy were bringing up dicks. She was trying to tell us about the Virgin Mary. We were trying to bring it back to the sodomy. No, shit.
It's okay. The Lord forgives all.
Amen.
Ashe.
I mean, that's bro, I ain't even gonna hold you. The way we talked about that shit with Brianda, you could take some of them stories out the Bible and I could put it right here on this phone and rub my pussy to it. Because, baby, they be doing some wild shit.
Oh.
They was having orgies in the Bible.
I am about to pass.
You should try that rather than porn. Pick up the Bible.
Pick up the Bible.
Porn, pick up the Bible.
It actually reads like an erotica in some books.
You're thinking about like...
I'm not editing.
I can't even close my mouth right now.
I feel really bad, actually.
Even you were
like a little too far. I feel like when we were like...
There's no way to take anything too far, bro.
We're already here.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
What did you say, Weezy? This is a comedy podcast. We can say anything as long as we say it's comedic.
It's a joke.
Bro. By the way, that is very true. I've been having conversation after conversation about, making these shows for work. And I was like, when they unscripted, Amazon is like, bitch, make sure they say comedy. I'm like, well, what if we put a laugh track in there? They're like, people have to know you're trying to be funny. You can do anything you want. You can't talk about but just do what you can.
You can't
put a laugh track.
Right.
That
is
Can I tell you real quick? Hold on. Can I tell you actually? There's way more people than that you can't talk about because the way my background check came in, they didn't care about my assault charge. No. They said, ma'am, we love you and we're still going to work with you, but we have some tweets from 2009 and 2010 that we need you to delete.
Who is we?
The company that I'm about to work with.
Oh.
So
they could find it that far?
I love that. I would love
bitch.
to be the person that goes through people's shit.
Oh, no, bitch. I'm not going to lie. So I went through it last night.
Jesus Christ.
I said, this was me. Oh, bitch.
What you saying?
I can't even say it. The only thing I did, take a screenshot up before I deleted it.
Don't say it, Mandii.
No, it's not bad. This one isn't bad.
Depend on the ass.
The ones last night that was crazy.
Girl,
But
my
this
sister's
shows-
keeper. Don't
real
say
quick,
it.
This shows how far ahead of my time I was.
Make sure I bleep this out.
It says, damn, Asians in these masks. I wonder if an Asian has caught swine flu yet. And here we are in 2022
put some fucking
wearing
respect
masks
on their practice.
because this was during the time of swine flu. But
It's because they're considerate and they lead from a place of love.
and now we're all wearing masks.
To be honest, they're just smarter. That's the truth.
And
They
they're
dress
considerate.
better.
They're like, I'm sick. I don't want to get you sick.
Have y'all been to Asia?
And our raggedy asses don't do that.
So I will make
don't.
this one point about Asians that I think anyone who's ever been, and Mandii lived there for a little bit.
Do it.
No, this is like, listen.
No, this
I've never been anywhere else in the world in my life where as a collective, people that went there talked about how amazing something was.
Oh.
Whether it be transportation, whether
yeah.
it be the
In
work ethic,
Singapore,
it's
whether it be the
clean.
food,
Yeah.
whether it be the cleanliness, the style,
Yeah.
every single
Singapore
time.
We're in Asia.
Wonderful.
I mean, I'm specifically talking about Japan, but
Yeah.
like even when I went to China, right? I'm like, damn, how do they do transportation like this? How do they have fucking this going on efficiently? How are they doing? Like, it's just everything.
Because they're collective. They work together.
Not only a collective,
effort.
their governments. I feel like their
Tricky.
citizens are a little bit more fearful of the government. Like
a little. It's a cop. Yeah, bitch.
There, a lot of them are. but like no, when I lived in Singapore,
politics, religion.
I know.
We was going to get these bitches dead, baby.
Okay, but real quick, you got. Hold on. Not only well, I can make it dick worthy. Hold on. So
No, because
Bring
now
the
that'll be
Asian
racist.
real quick,
Now
real
it'll
quick.
get canceled.
Suck a dick.
Don't you make it
Hold on,
Asian dick
no,
joke, Mandii.
So in Singapore, you would get fined $1,000 for chewing gum on the subway. However, you also couldn't watch porn, and they banned sex toys in Singapore. So if you like went through an
Thailand,
airport,
not in Japan.
if you went through the airport in Singapore with sex toys, you risked being fined.
Which is
If
crazy
they found the sex toys
because
in the luggage.
for Thailand to have that rule and prostitution be a thing that people like literally
Yeah.
they
Thailand
sex
has that rule?
tourism.
I didn't know
Yeah.
Thailand had that rule.
Yes, they do.
Not the way I saw a
Yes,
bitch
they do.
pull
Sex tourism
she
is
do?
a thing. You
Girl, I
can't
went
watch
to the
porn
Pussy
in
Pong show.
Thailand.
No,
the pussy pong. This bitch was
I have a lot
shooting
of
pussy
Strong.
Ping pong is,
No, she was shooting
Kegels.
ping pongs out
Get
her
it.
pussy.
and they give you a paddle if you're
and
in
you
the
get to
audience.
hit it. And then the bitch put water and squirted all of us. We said it's time to go.
It's very strong.
that was giving Semen cupcake. I didn't ask for that.
Mandii.
I don't want the ping pong either. You know, there's just things for everyone.
I can't say that.
You would watch
How is this for you guys' brand?
I know. I was just thinking, like, wow.
We talk
No, it's gonna be
politics.
great. It's gonna be great.
Dude, I really want the guy, Alex Toussaint from Peloton. Do you guys ride Peloton?
We're not rich.
First of all, bitch,
I can't afford a Peloton.
from a Jamaican nigga that maybe he don't work there no more.
Oh, well, let me know if you
Girl, you just gotta go on Craigslist. And if the price seems too good to be true,
I would like one.
offer up.
But what about
my
what?
shit was brand new and he set it up. He's like, all right, if it get too sweaty, you use a wet wipe. And then he's like, call me if you need anything. And then it got warranty too. Anyway.
Now, this is on brand. There you go, baby. Resourceful.
The dude from Peloton.
This is not an ad,
There's
by
like
the
a
way.
guy who's like super popular on there and like he does a lot of talks. He's amazing. His name's Alex and I tweeted.
Is that the white guy?
He's the black guy, babe.
Oh, sorry.
Hello.
I like the white gay.
I love
Okay.
brunch.
Right, so that's the way you like the fun.
I really do.
So I asked Alex, I was like, yo, I really want you to come on Whoreible, mainly because he's fine. But anyway, he was like, he does podcasts. He just did a Soho House talk. So I sent him the page. He wrote back 3 days later, was like, LOL, y'all wild. Never wrote me again.
I know that's right.
And I just want to say, like, I feel like we could go, what did you say earlier? We could meet you at your level.
Academia.
It's called duality.
Meet you where you're at.
We met you at your level at the beginning. And then you brought up Jesus and we got lost.
We did. But it was
Who
a fun
brought up Jesus
tussle.
first?
The Virgin Mary.
I say in God we trust.
No,
And then
you did talk about Jesus created everything.
Oh, yeah, you the dinosaur.
Your timeline was all fucked up.
Wow.
covering history.
Where's the
Jesus was
outline?
right.
I don't know what
Actively.
was going on. Oh, no, we are still on my outline. This is why I left some buffer room in there.
Yeah, Jesus dicks in there?
No, Jesus dicks are not in here.
Oh, God.
But also, Jesus got to have a big dick if you think about it.
But Jesus also loved the whores as well.
How?
Jesus loved the whores. Jesus
It's
welcomed
true.
the whores.
It's
Whores
true.
was washing his feet.
I hate when
Oh,
people
shit,
tweet me
for
that
real?
shit. I really don't like that
Yeah,
shit.
why?
A lot of bitches be trying to tweet me that shit. I don't like that
Wait,
shit.
you don't like the
I
Jesus
feel
love
like
the
they
whore?
trying to be disrespectful, bitch. First of all, I know Jesus love me, ho, but do he love you? As Jocelyn said in the cabaret, bitch. Damn.
I did not know that. Does it say
What's
that
her
in
name?
the Bible?
That's
Mary
supposed- it's
Magdalene.
compassion.
No,
It's grace.
what's
It's
her
no
name?
judgment.
Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene, yep.
Yeah,
Like, who said
She
that?
was a hoe. You
Mary
said-
Magdalene.
But she said Jesus loved her, or we confirmed
No,
it?
he
did.
Yeah, she was. It was just Mary
was
and his
a
mom.
one.
When Jesus
Y'all
was
gotta-
on the cross, it was just Mary and the hoe. It was the hoe Mary and his mother there. That was it. They were everybody else who followed Jesus. Even his followers weren't there. It was.
You know what?
It was the ones that the wretched of the earth had his back and his mama. So
I
that
ain't gonna lie,
shows
Shanti.
you-
That remind me of how when a nigga die, you find out about everybody he fucking because everybody show up to the funeral.
That's not the same thing. Why would that remind you of that?
Mandii, do you know what's crazy about you saying
fucked
this?
up theology.
I hate when people
God.
bring up niggas at funerals, but now that I'm dating a hood nigga,
Bro.
he brought that shit up to me like 2 weeks ago.
He told you not to come because the baby
The
mama gonna be
politics
there.
of
No, he said, hey, I'm gonna tell you something right now. This is why I like keeping it 100 with you. Because when I die and you at my funeral, I don't want no surprises. I was like, nigga, what?
You got to know the
What are
politics.
you scared of? We gonna come up there or down there and come get your ass?
Not
Like,
down there, bro.
He kind of crazy.
He going to hell.
I'm not sure.
Hell isn't real.
Well, you gonna meet him there in gasoline draws, bitch. 'Cause, baby.
That nigga be wilding. I'm
Oh
just
my
saying.
God.
For you to think that, the plan B could be an everyday occurrence, I feel like you might be going to hell.
He said you could pop it like Skittles.
He just said to me because obviously, if maybe some of you don't have Patreon, you're welcome. So we, after the Plan B situation, have used condoms since. And he was like, I don't understand. Like, what you scared of? You, nigga, and a baby.
Also, Plan B is detrimental if you use it too often, ladies. This is a PSA.
Niggas don't
Yeah,
give
come
a
on,
fuck.
birth
Take care of yourself,
Internet, let me
please.
explain
And it
something to
doesn't
you.
work all the time.
How long have you been on this on this drought?
baby having
Oh
on
my
Plan B.
God.
No,
This is
that was a
not-
joke. How long have you been on this celibacy journey?
It's not
it's-
voluntary, first of all.
Because maybe you haven't been around niggas in a
I'm
long
not
time.
actively trying to be
Hey,
celibate.
Internet,
I
it's given how I said I was abstinent during the pandemic. Because, bitch, nobody would come to New York and fuck me.
No, it's,
We was the epicenter.
I had sex twice last year.
Okay.
Twice.
Well, I don't know what
wait,
the
real
niggas
quick,
was
Eden.
like, but this one thinks
It's
Plan
the
B
same.
is a goddamn TikTok.
And then can you
No,
you
I have a
You
rule.
said
I don't
twice?
have sex with anyone that I
Twice?
can't accidentally get pregnant by.
You don't?
If I don't feel like if something happened here and I wouldn't feel like comfortable with that
Oh,
outcome.
well, girl, don't embarrass me.
Girl, that is
Now you try. Don't
I'm just saying, you asked me, I'm letting you know, I'm not.
You are in our house of hope and the Lord. Don't you disrespect me, B. You ain't seen what he looked like.
No, you could. It's a lot of fine ones that ain't right.
Less than 1% last year.
Love the math.
There you go.
Wow, ancient mathematics.
If you divide 2 by 365,
Divine mathematics.
Divine.
0.005.
Bitch had 2 accounting jobs and thought, let me
did the
just
best I
make
can.
sure we remind you I've been to corporate America.
That's
Jesus.
And
the
I will
perspective
flex
you
on
need,
you hoes.
though. That's the perspective you
I'm
need.
going to pray for you. That's not a lot of dick.
But she's
sex.
growing.
Did you really have sex if you only fucked this much in 1 year?
Yes.
What you
Yeah,
mean?
it doesn't like wipe clean. Like, yeah.
Oh, it
No,
does.
yes, it does.
Yes, it
way.
does.
Well,
Actually,
You know what? That
Science
needs to be the
and
new
your
merch.
history and your logic works out.
This whole logic.
This is actually called Florida Public School
I was just
System.
going to say that. I'm so glad I didn't say it.
This is Florida Public School System at your finest.
yes, queen.
Well, let's get into our horrible decision because this is where I guess we can get back to being mature.
We can't.
Probably not. We're
I'm
gonna
hold
try.
this banana.
So this one
You couldn't make it through Semen cupcake, hon.
which is crazy because this kind of does bring up back in the day shit with like Jesus era and stuff. But the horrible decision today that I wanted to discuss with you guys is the Madonna-Whore complex, which if you guys go maybe all the way back to maybe within the first 50 episodes of this show, we kind of discussed it because we've talked a lot about whorephobia and the usage of the word whore. And I want to read the definition real quick of Madonna-Whore complex before we really dig into it, especially since y'all have Heaux Tales. It didn't really sound very hoish, but in psychoanalytic literature, a Madonna-Whore complex is the inability to maintain sexual arousal within a committed, loving relationship. First identified by Sigmund Freud under the rubric of psychic impotence, this psychological complex is said to develop in men who see women as either saintly Madonnas or debased prostitutes. Men with this complex desire a sexual partner who has been degraded, the whore, while they cannot desire their respected partner, the Madonna.
What the fuck is the dichotomy of Madonna anyway? I just thought that's what always confused me about Madonna-Whore. Because you're either a Madonna or a whore. And I'm like, wasn't she that?
You just thinking of Madonna, but Madonna is like a whole nother word, I think.
I was also thinking about
Madonna is the
singer.
pure.
Madonna is the mother of Jesus.
Yeah.
Stop lying.
Girl,
See,
we is
look,
teaching today.
See?
No, that's the original Madonna.
Yeah.
Is
Which is
That's,
like she
that's
like
why
a
when she
virgin.
took that name
She took
and
the-
did
that's
what
not
she
really
did
her
with
name.
it, it
Let your
was
body groove to the cheese.
Yeah.
No, I don't hit the same.
Let me
Time
see.
out. That's why she did like a version?
Yeah, she was trying to fuck y'all heads up.
Just blew my
Real
fucking
quick.
mind.
there's a lot.
I
of
just thought it,
That she was
was
the original
brilliant.
reclaiming
Really
a hoe. She was the first one.
But wait, but her mama
Oh,
gave her
Josephine
that name.
Baker.
Her name is Madonna Louise Ciccone.
but she's
she-
saying that
I
they were
know.
she was
but
made that.
she was using
she
that.
used that name for what it meant.
Like imagine, like remember when she came out in that veil and then she ripped her thing and there was nothing but breasts?
The only time I know about that was Janet Jackson.
Well, she did. She came out in a veil. She had a veil and like a nun thing, and then she went like that, and this whole see-through panel was there, and she continued to perform and to be like, "This is what you guys want us to be, but guess what? We're actually sexual beings as well. This is how you see us, but no."
that the reference to that situation, Madonna-Whore, the Madonna is referred to the Mother Mary. It's not to Madonna the singer. It's Madonna the Mother Mary, the virgin, or the whore.
So we really
Madonna
actually
is
talked
the
about
one
this
that's-
shit. And see, you was talking
Yeah.
about they was both at the cross. You see, this is a
See,
But-
they be the ones that
full story.
they be the ones
But
that
I'm
hold you
curious,
down.
as a mom, did
need to
that
go to
happen
church.
to you after you had a baby and you were with your partner? Did he look at you differently? Like, no, because I know that there were things where that he said, there were things that happened where he was like, you have to move differently as a mom now.
I think that's assumed for all mothers. You have to move a certain way.
But
after a
also,
while,
it's not even mothers. You want to know what this reminds me of? How so many people say there's certain things that they won't do with their wives. They do it with me. You know what I mean? So, but like there's a lot of men that I've dealt with, clearly married men, and we have that conversation as far as there's still so many things that they want to do sexually, but they're not going to do it with their wives because they don't want to see their wives differently. They don't want to. There's certain things sexually that they won't do, which is ironic to me because as women, we leave a lot of things to do with our husbands.
Yeah.
Like a lot of
we
women
look forward to it.
A lot of women save certain things like anal sex. They
I wouldn't
save.
do that with anybody but
I don't want to do anything but with my husband.
That's just what we hold against, like at least for like the butthole or like the threesome. You got to be my husband.
The leverage.
I mean, it's too late.
Because we
I don't
are
think
so
I'll
worried
say
about being a
anything.
whore. That's why you got to get your slutty years out.
You know what? There's some truth to that of like, you're definitely worried about how it's going to be perceived. But I also feel like I want to feel really safe when I'm exploring those kinds of things. Like, I want to be with the person that I trust completely, and then I want to get real fucking weird. Like,
That's
let's
why I
get
want to have
weird.
a
Let's
gangbang with a
explore.
boyfriend, which people think is nuts. But
Well, no.
If you trust the person, if that's what you want.
That was a problem when I was with my ex. He was open to allowing me to explore that with him.
Mhm.
But we couldn't find we couldn't agree on who the other men would be. He felt like, well, they should just be men that we meet at the sex club, or let's just have, and I was like, no. I said for something like a gangbang or a threesome or foursome with multiple men, I'm like, I want to feel safe. There's the only way for me to enjoy that experience is to do it with people that I'm comfortable with. He was not sitting here trying to let me have ex men that I've dealt with come into the bedroom with us. And I was just like, then I don't want to do it. Like, I think as women, it takes a lot for us to even feel safe in our most vulnerable, sluttiest, whoriest things, especially in the bedroom.
Horiest
human,
is
though.
what
You're
we
saying
want.
slutty, horrible, all that. It's just human. It's
human.
just fucking human.
But-
and I get the word. It makes complete
Right.
sense how you're using it. But I want people to recognize, like, there is no Madonna or whore. There's
women.
all in between.
Right.
There's a lot of other area, and like, you can be both. That's the point, I think, of the complex. It's a complex for a fucking reason.
Right.
Like, if you and I said this to you yesterday, if you think that having sex with me somehow turns me into a whore, what does that say about your penis? What does that say about your sex? What does that say about what we're like? You're in this equation as
Okay,
well.
but that's the thing, though. Men don't care.
But I think
Yeah, men don't.
They don't.
Well, we need to start asking them.
But
that.
I think it's the men's problem. It's not the women's problem. It's the man's problem. Why you don't feel. I think it's a
Yeah.
safety thing for the man. Why don't you feel open and safe enough to explore those things with your wife? You're putting this shit on your wife. Like, I don't want to debase her.
Agreed.
But you don't want your wife to see these parts of you that you're interested in. Why
Right.
don't you want to open that up?
I think that's a really simple answer. I think men think of their wives in this hierarchy and virginal way, and like this, and the sex acts are very nasty and something that we should not experience with someone that we put on this pedestal. I had a guy that I was really in love with tell me once he didn't want me to go down on him in a car because he was like, I would never do something like that with you. I wouldn't want you to have to do that.
That's their problem.
I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, that's
suck
their
it.
problem.
You should. That's
But
their
Shanti,
problem.
what you said
But
was really.
he was super religious.
Yeah.
Right? So not saying that someone religious can't end up having sex like that, but you grow up with a lot of that nuance of like, oh my God, I have to save these dirty things for someone that I don't
That's
love and
something for him
honor.
to unpack.
And like, that's it. Men don't think it's this reflection on them because they really believe they're doing these women a favor by treating them well, by not fucking them crazy, which is why women fuck pool boys. Just saying.
Not the pool boy.
Bruh, their
have
husbands
a
don't
pool.
fuck the shit out of them because they're out fucking some fucking other bitch because they don't want to do nasty things to their wives.
Or
Then
they don't have the pleasure that they want. I know so many, especially older women, who were so completely, they were not satisfied sexually at all
It
and
puts
unfulfilled.
Yeah, it puts women in a chokehold too, because there's this whole idea of being a lady in the street and the freak in the bed. So you can't even explore and express your sexual side outside
Outwardly.
of the bedroom. It's also a constricting thing.
I mean, but also as women too, like, we've been shamed if we sleep with a man for the first time and we suck their dick a little too good. And then they're like, whoa,
Yeah.
how many people you done did that to?
Right.
Like, there's shame even in us showing up.
I actually try to save it now just so that I could work up to it.
Oh, nah, bitch, I got a horrible decision, nigga. I be bringing the toy kit now.
Now,
I be
Hello, my
speaking of not
Quite the
getting
kid.
pleasure, we do have a home mail this week that hopefully y'all can give some advice on.
Uh-oh.
The title is Sick of Faking It While I'm Taking It. Hi, beautiful ladies. I just found your show 2 weeks ago and I've been binge watching every single day at work and I love, love, love the podcast. I'm 34 and I've been with my husband for 7 years. Lost my virginity at 13. I have a ton of experience with older men. And the first time I had sex, I was so disappointed because it was nothing like everyone bragged about. I felt no pleasure, nothing. I felt duped. But I became a carefree spirit anyway and experienced all kinds of dick sizes, shapes, tastes. I didn't think she was going to go there. Still never any orgasms from penetration, though. I simply chose to master my craft of pleasing others and eventually came to the conclusion I was the minority of women who would never experience an orgasm through penetration until 2 years ago. All caps. It happened. The most amazing, absolute amazing fucking thing I have ever experienced. And when I say I daydream about those 10 seconds way too often, it's a shame. Anyhow, that was the one and only time it's ever happened. And now, before I experienced this incredible pleasure, it was easy to accept my body wouldn't allow it to happen. But now that it has, I need and I want more. Our wedding anniversary is coming up March 21st, and I'd love to hear some advice on what I can do to possibly up my chances of experiencing that euphoria again. I'm tired of faking multiple orgasms to boost his ego. And FYI, he's the most freaky and nasty man I've ever been with. I enjoy the kinky shit we do. I just want to start focusing on what my body needs so I can receive the same type of pleasure and I can bestow it upon him. Thanks so much for your show. Sacrifices and consistent. Not the sacrifices like Jesus.
I love this.
With love, hurting for a squirtin', the fake gasm queen.
I feel like I'm God's chosen one for 2 reasons. I have
about it.
I have a 3-day period and I orgasm off penetration, which mind you, we've learned as well, majority of women cannot orgasm through penetration. It's clitoral stimulation. So the fact that she did get to feel that, like the coming from penetration, that's actually not common amongst women because of science, unfortunately. And maybe you're not God's chosen like myself. But I would say with my advice to her, and this is the thing too, not all men can make me squirt. I've squirted with only like 2 men. Ones I didn't even give a fuck about. They just, I don't know what button they pressed. They just knew what to do. I think what she's doing right now is probably thinking too hard about it and maybe applying the pressure without letting her partner know that this is what she wants to experience. And sex is a lot more psychology than it is really what's going on. And so because I feel like mentally she wants to experience this heightened orgasm, she's not allowing herself to be in the space when she's having sex.
I don't really have penetrative orgasms either, but I come when I'm fucking because I find ways to get my clit aroused. So like my advice is really difficult because you got someone who's nasty and kinky. It sounds like you're comfortable fucking him. So it's really hard to give you advice, but I will tell you how I get mine if I don't touch my clit and it's always on top. I literally have to.
My knees don't work like that.
I mean, you could, from behind though, the cowboy riding, you could be on your knees so that you don't have to like squat down on the dick, but you got mad access to your clit from there if you don't even want to touch it. You know what I'm saying? Like rubbing your clit up and down. Like, bitch, if his dick is medium size and you can even get it on the balls and rub it up and down, you can get stimulation that way if you don't want to touch yourself. But like touching myself is how I get off during sex.
Yeah. Well, outside of this home specifically, how do you guys, because we're all in our 30s now, how do you guys communicate with a man who's not making you orgasm? Do you keep going at it or do you keep faking it like our home male listener?
I could have wrote that.
I was like,
She started smiling at me. That's the reason why I stopped having sex. I was like, you can't even be honest here. You can't even be honest.
You didn't know you were going to read your question on your episode.
No.
What you mean you can't be honest?
I absolutely, when I tell you the actress that I am, convulsions, I can make myself sweat. I can do so many things.
Why do you do it?
Why?
You want it to be over?
To stroke their ego.
To center them so that they feel good.
Wow.
But you're betraying yourself. So she
I'm
has
very
to stop.
clear about it.
Yeah.
So when in reading that, one of the things that I said, what I was thinking, the first thing I said was, read that to him. Read that to him and leave it there. And and read it to him touching, because when you have hard conversations, you should always touch. But read that to him and see where it goes, see what he says. But it's something that I struggle with as well. It's another reason why I'm into like a lot of self-pleasure now and making sure that I figure out what I like so I can effectively communicate it. Because I also feel like if you're just coming to someone and saying, when you don't know your body and you're just saying, well, you're not making me come, well, show me. I was talking about this with a friend of mine, and again, Louis C.K. came up, we were laughing about it, but he said, if somebody pulled their dick out, And I was like, I love that. I love watching a man please himself because I see what he likes. I often will ask someone, show me.
Shit was crazy.
Right, that was why. I don't want to be, I don't want to say.
They about to send you the videos, girl.
They about to curse me out. I don't think that was okay, but I'm saying that's how the conversation came up. But I'm saying with a partner, show me. I love that.
I love that with men because especially when pleasing men, either with a hand job or sucking their dick, you get to even see how much pressure they applied, how much they really like hand usage.
And tell me what you guide me.
More, men, when they jack off, it's literally a lesson on how they like to be pleased.
And I will also say really quickly, if you're doing it for them, if they're not a very vocal person and you can see that they struggle with it, tell me what you want me to do next or I'm not going to do anything.
Oh,
I've definitely done that.
Threat,
it's not a threat, but it's
hotel.
You got to tell me what you want because I want you to be able to say it and get comfortable telling me and being vulnerable and really opening up so I can do it too. Yeah,
I love the reading it to him. Sorry, Shanti, she took that. I'm fucking around. I know, but that was awesome advice.
You gotta.
No, all I gotta say is she should stop lying. She should stop faking it.
That's the hardest part.
That's a sin. Lying is a sin.
Messed up. It's doing nobody any justice. She needs to tell him.
The Bible said you should tell them the truth and stop faking the orgasm.
Amen.
It's in the Bible.
Jesus said
it. It is. Thou shalt not lie. That's a 10 fucking commandment. Shout out to Moses.
I thought it was greed still. Anyway,
what is it?
All right. Those
bitch, I don't know. But thou shalt listen to podcasts. Tell them where to find y'all.
You can. We drop every Thursday. Please, you can follow us on Around the Way Curls on IG. You can follow us on Around the Way Curls for the podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. Patreon. Come check us out at the Roots Picnic with these lovely fucking ladies. And we're around. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Y'all are fire. Y'all are dope.
You see how we got through the entire outline of an hour?
You are a PM, project manager.
Guys, make sure as well, you guys go to whorehive.com. If y'all are watching us on YouTube, our lovely merch is hanging up behind us. So go on over to whorehive.com and cop your Whoreible Decisions merch.
And then when you're wearing your merch, wear it on our live town halls. Come to patreon.com/Whoreible Decisions. We have our most updated updates. I would say we probably post them within a day of each other. If you guys want some solo episodes, generally our Patreon, you will just get Mandii and I. Very rarely we have a guest on there because we have to catch up on all of our shit talking.
Yeah, so make sure y'all go on over. The description is in the link is in the description of this episode. Thank you guys so much. Also, make sure you check out See the Thing Is podcast every Tuesday and every Friday. Also, make sure you go to officialboxowner.com. We are almost out of product, so get your $10 apple cider vinegar gummies and boric acid suppositories. Again, thank you guys for supporting Whoreible Decisions.
And before you click off of this, you're watching it on YouTube, you're listening to it, stop cursing us out about not putting the Patreon clip. People that listen on audio get it. And if you're looking on video, thanks for watching. We're at WTF Media Studios in Studio A. Come check us out. Bye.
All right. This has been another episode of Whoreible Decisions. Bye, guys. All right, y'all, we let you know at the top of the show that we are doing a live show this weekend, Saturday, April 16th in Los Angeles at the Hollywood Improv. Just want to let y'all know this is a one-time only. We're not adding other shows.
There will not be another show, beach. None. Mandy's already tired. She is already like, I got to go to LA just for y'all because she loves it here, low-key.
Oh,
Come grab your tickets. Hollywood Improv, link in the bio. And our revolution is televised, so make sure you look hot. Bye.